question thing, or is it going to be me off the cuff?
It's off the cuff. I think we're streaming now. Let's see. There we
Yeah,
go.
but I mean,
And there we go. We're streaming right now. We're live right now. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much. Hello, world. Welcome to all of you for. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Beep. Cut. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Weekend Showcase for Sunday, December 5, 2021. Welcome to December fully, once and for all. This is the end of the first weekend of the big month of Christmas. Hopefully everybody's been good this year. Ha ha ha. We're about to do a weird news stream, and help me out right now is an old friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jason James. Jason, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
We gotta. You can turn your camera on now. There it is. I guess it's buffering. There we go. Welcome back, Jason. It's been a long time. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Good. Are we actually live right now?
Yes, we're live.
Right on.
So yeah, cool. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, and thank you at home for joining us as well. Jay, we're about to do some weird news, like I was saying. You ready to get started?
Let's go. Let's
cool.
do it.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and re-enable the camera here. And first order of business, rolling right into things, we have when pigs attack. This is something that popped up right before Thanksgiving. Let's see if we can go ahead and use that as an interesting
when you say live, you mean you recorded and then posted later?
No, this is live on. We do live now.
I know. I want everybody to know. This is awesome.
Oh, okay. Much appreciated. Yeah, and we've already done the little notifications on our IG stories as well, so we're gonna bring in some people that way too. But we actually also used to simulcast on Instagram too, but we're still working out the kinks for that. We may return to that in 22. But anyway, moving on. Back to this. This is from CNN. Pigs go hog wild on golf course, injure 2 and force club closure. The festive season is typically time for pigs in blankets, but at one British golf club, some oinkers have been creating quite a stir. 2 huge pigs recently made their way onto the course at Lightcliff Golf Club in Yorkshire, disrupting play and even injuring some golfers who tried to shoo them away. Jason, what's your first thoughts here?
How are pigs allowed on a golf course? That's the first thing I'm trying to make sense of. Yeah.
This is right before Thanksgiving, even though I know that's not a British holiday, and this is clearly a UK based thing.
Yeah.
Here we go. They first appeared on, I guess, last Sunday, the previous Sunday. Remembers President Philip Marshall, although he tells CNN Sport the club don't know where they came from. That's in quotations. Quote, one of our golfers saw these pigs on the course and tried to shoo them off, and he sustained a cut in his leg and had to go to A&E for a shot, and they disappeared then, so we thought they'd gone. End quote. I'm not sure what A&E stands for, but these guys are big.
TV channel, right?
That's what I was first thinking, but this is clearly a sort of like a health and human services kind of context. But I wouldn't want to run into one of those guys in a dark alley either, let alone a golf course. So
definitely not.
Yeah.
Enough of those on Fortnite.
Well, we'll get back to Fortnite later. On Tuesday, here's a quote continues. On Tuesday, they reappeared then, and they dug up the 18th green, first tee, and then our head greens director tried to shoo one of them off, and it turned on him, and it cut his leg. So we had to go and have a tetanus jab, but he's fine. And he actually had a hole-in-one Thursday morning. That's 2 days later. So no ill effects to him at all then. There's no video attached to this, obviously, but, well, it's not obvious, but there you go. I guess that's pretty much a pretty self-contained thing there. Nothing really else to add there other than who's up for bacon? I don't know.
No, I'm vegan. That doesn't work for me.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's move on. Let's see. Next topic. And by the way, don't forget, like we were saying a moment ago, we are streaming all the way live exclusively on our YouTube channel. Those of you who are tuned in with us live, feel free to drop a comment in the chat feed, and we might just read your responses on the air. Hey, here's something. Turkish man's 3.46-inch nose earns Guinness World Records title.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, never mind.
What?
No, never mind.
Okay. Do we check this out?
Okay.
Just go along with it. Like, you can say no. It's okay. We'll just keep going. We have a lot to go through. We're going to be doing this for about an hour, by the way. The Turkish man
Well,
was verified.
he definitely has more room to breathe. So.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there's your pun. Very well done. Yeah, and you're an actual dad, so like dad jokes.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big part of the channel here. So there you go. The Turkish man who was verified by Guinness World Records as having the longest nose on a living person said his supersized schnoz gives him an enhanced sense of smell. Mehmet Odzurek? I'm probably mispronouncing that name.
And so at that point in time, does that mean it's qualified as a beak?
Maybe? Question mark? I don't know how to answer that accurately without sounding offensive. I don't know.
There's far more offensive things that I'm not going to go into, but a beak sounds.
Well, let me see. Where is the image in here somewhere? Unless this is him. There you go. So, yeah. Mehmet Odzurek, whose nose was officially measured at 3.46 inches from the bridge to the tip, said his large proboscis was the cause of mockery when he was a child, but he came to see it as a benefit.
Bridge to the tip. All right.
Oh, God.
I didn't say.
Let me see here. So Odzurek said he discovered his nose gave him unexpected benefits, including enhanced sense of smell. Quote, I say, there is a smell here. Other people say, we don't smell that smell. I say, you may not smell it, but I can. For example, I enter my house. I can immediately tell which dish is cooked. End quote.
Next.
All right. Next topic. Let's see here. This is gonna take a moment. He didn't say that. He will later though. Hopefully we'll get the right reaction from that. What was that for? What was that fly swatter for?
Next.
Every time
every time we do next, every time I say next, we just move on.
All right, well, you're gonna have to make a SWAT sound in case I'm looking over at the monitor here. All right, next item. Louisiana store. Thank you. All right, Louisiana store pleads for return of missing giant gummy bear statue. So that's something. Let's take a look at this. Giggles.
I mean, it sounds like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but all right.
With 100% less chocolate, yeah. Giggles, a children's store in the Willow Grove area of Baton Rouge, said in a Facebook post that its giant gummy bear mascot named Willow vanished recently from its place in front of the business. Owner Whitney Coleman told WBRZ TV, quote, we had lots of kids come in on Saturday and say how much they missed the bear, and with the holiday season, it's just a fun icon for us, you know? He hangs outside, comes inside for bad weather, and he's heavy, so it's just sad. Very sad for us, end quote. Coleman said the store will not seek any criminal charges or ask any questions if Willow is returned. Jay, do you eat I almost said bunny bears. Gummy bears?
Yeah, the ones without gelatin. So very few.
Oh, so you do eat gummy bears, you're saying? Yeah,
some from like Whole Foods or something like that.
I see. Where were you on the night of November 27th? No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know.
Well.
I mean, yeah, hopefully this has been resolved since then. Oh, excuse me, this is November 30th. I'm just now seeing the date stamp on that. So, okay, there we go. Next order of business. Let's see here. It's going to take another moment to get back into the Slack room here. Oh, we have a comment. Stephen Burrell talking about this person we're seeing right now, the guy with the giant nose. He says he can smell next week with that snoz. So there you go. It didn't come from me. Didn't come from Jason. Somebody on the internet just said that. So there you go. Let's see. Here we go. Australian man breaks Guinness record with world's loudest burp. Okay, let's take a closer look at that. An Australian man broke a decade-old Guinness World Record when he let out a burp measured at 112.4 decibels. Neville Sharp of Darwin, Northern Territory, said his wife encouraged him to go for the record, and he spent 5 years preparing by honing the strength and noise level of his belches. This was published by UPI on December 1st. Let's see. I don't think there's a clip on here, unfortunately, but let's see. Sharp said the most difficult part of the record was gathering the proper equipment to accurately measure the volume of his emissions. Jay, your reaction to this?
Not sure. That's just weird.
I mean, we're doing weird news all night, so there you go.
Yeah.
Stephen Burrell says, it was a fart. What was a fart? I don't know what he's talking about though. Oh, unless he's talking about the gummy bear. Look at the nose on that gummy bear. Oh, he's trying to connect them together. Talking about the large nose and then going to the, yeah, there you go. I actually wasn't really noticing the nose on the gummy bear, but that would actually have been a really good sort of segue, I guess, to sort of like organically transition over to this topic.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing with trying to like do the weird news things is I'm trying to like get fresh reactions for myself as well. So I'm trying not to like read too much into this beforehand, except for this one. This topic here actually did pop up in my news feed, and I think Jason, you probably might have heard of this one too. World's first living robots can now reproduce, scientists say. Yeah, that's pretty much the correct reaction to this topic. This is from CNN, first published on November 29. They're called xenobots. Here we go. These things right here. This is a living robot grown in a lab, basically.
I mean, as long as humans are making them, so.
The U.S. scientists who created the first living robots say the life forms known as xenobots can now reproduce, and in a way not seen in plants and animals. So apparently humans don't need to make them. Formed from the stem cells of the African clawed frog, from which it takes its name, xenobots are less than a millimeter wide. The tiny blobs were first unveiled in 2020 after experiments showed that they could move, work together in groups, and self-heal. Oh, great. They have a Wolverine healing factor now. Oy. See, the applications for this, theoretically, like the argument can be made that, things like medicine and, all sorts of like things that are beneficial for, the betterment of humanity, or like, other things like, for example, eliminating garbage, plastic waste, undoing climate change. There's a lot of positive effects for this sort of stuff, but it's such a slippery slope towards devastation, irreversible devastation that's 100% done by us to us. And we have like decades of science fiction history to sort of back that up. Jason, where do you stand on this as an idea? Like, is this do the risks justify the attempt?
I would say so, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit out of place on the understanding of all this, but yeah.
Well, there's a clip here as well we can play really briefly before we transition. We have a comment: "Good for the world, better than some humans reproducing."
Mm-hmm.
Well, truer words.
I mean,
never spoken,
they got a point. They got a point there.
Yeah, I was about to say there. Here's the clip. Let's see if we can get some more information here. Can we get this clip? Goodness. Maybe I need to refresh this page possibly. Here we go. Oh, we have a counter comment. No, don't do it. Look at, basically saying, no, don't do it. Look at what humans have done to the planet. Exactly. So, brother. This thing doesn't seem to be really playing properly. I may have to like troubleshoot this for next week's weird news. I'll go ahead and look over this the way that I have this browser set up. That may be causing issues with our ability to play clips in this thing, but we'll be posting the links to everything in the description below after we're done with the stream, so people can go ahead and take a look at the clips for themselves if so inclined. So, but we do have to move on. We have a lot of other things to be able to get to here. We're 20 minutes into this live stream. Let's see. Here we go. Another UPI. Bear raids. Here's more animal news. Bear raids $600 worth of frozen meats from a Colorado garage.
Wait. Say it again.
I said bear raids $600.
Raid. Okay. Raid. Okay. I got you.
Oh, yeah. So there you go.
I was like, why is he raping meat?
Oh God, that was like, a complete total miss here. No.
I don't even want to know the answer to this.
No. Okay. Let me see. Can I pull this off?
We just got this video into our newsroom of a bear having a midnight snack up in Breckenridge. Take a look.
Wow.
Wait, I want to see. Go back.
It's still, wait, it's still, okay, hold on. Here we go.
He's like, where's the fish? Where's the fish? I got some salmon right now.
This is so bizarre. First of all, the owners left themselves wide open for this. You don't just leave your garage door open like that with your fridge perfectly positioned next to the door. Obviously, any indigenous animal is gonna.
My question is, why is the ring inside the garage?
Well, and
Yeah.
like positioned in this way too. That's another thing. Like, isn't like this is, in case you can't tell on the YouTube stream, this footage is from was recorded, as Jason was saying, by a Ring device. We can tell from the little Ring logo in the upper left corner of the video feed, and so it's clearly positioned facing at the tail end of the vehicle that's parked in this garage, as opposed to, say, the front of the vehicle, like one of the front doors, or the door that lets into the rest of the house. Why do you have a Ring device pointed at the back of the vehicle like that? That's very interesting.
I'm curious what the insurance claim said. It seems like this was a little pre-planned from for our old friend Grizzly.
Plausibly. Comment. He used his Visa card. Don't worry. Yeah, that would be.
Well, this clearly wasn't a swipe. It was basically one of those little beep.
What is it? The contactless chip card sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Based on the videos, the bear was here for about an hour and a half. He took everything out of the freezer, including over $600 in frozen meats. And the owner said the bear also feasted on a large amount of frozen hot chocolate. And went on to say in a Facebook post that she will not forget to close her.
Who freezes hot chocolate? I've never frozen hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point there. I actually sped right past that. I guess this person did for whatever reason. I'm not sure about that.
Unless you just threw some Snickers bars in the freezer, and that's what they're calling hot chocolate. It's a typo.
I mean, but judging by the wording here, like it stands to reason that this is just a regular, like, actual, like, hot chocolate, like prepared hot chocolate that would have to be sort of thawed out and then ultra heated to get to that proper threshold. You just made more work for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to put on a stove and.
Yeah. The owner said in the Facebook post that she will not forget to close her garage door again. There you go. So there's a little bit of resolution there. We have a YouTube comment.
No feeding the bears. No feeding the bears.
Another YouTube comment as well. Paper or plastic? Ha 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 ha. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda tonight here. Here we go. Deer breaks into New Hampshire school, leaves antler behind. We have a lot of weird animal news this week. Let's see. Here we go. I wonder if there's some Ring.
Was his name Sweet Tooth?
Here we go.
Sweet Tooth.
It's a Netflix series. You're referencing the Netflix movie, right? Yeah. I actually didn't see that one. I heard it was good.
Series.
Oh, it's a series, yeah. But yeah, no, I heard it was good. Did you see it?
First and second episode, it kind of got a little medieval, so it's like, I'll wait. I'll get back to it later.
Okay, fair enough.
It was okay. It was a little weird. Kind of Walking Dead sort of status, end of the world.
Yeah. Well, hey, anything goes these days, as far as like what. First of all, in terms of what Netflix is capable of, like those guys have so much content, it's ridiculous now. Police responding to a potential burglary at a New Hampshire elementary school said they responded to find the suspect, a deer, was still inside the building. The Barnstead Police Department, that's a hilarious name for this. The Barnstead Police Department said officials responded Sunday afternoon after a citizen reported seeing the glass front door of Barnstead Elementary School had been shattered. Police responded and, much to their surprise, saw a 10-point buck inside the school lobby, police said in a Facebook post. Police and firefighters attempted to capture the suspect, but the deer smashed through another window and escaped on its own, the Facebook post said. Here's a attached clip from YouTube. Let's take a look at this.
Well, police in 2 communities responded to break-ins over the weekend, and they say in both cases, a deer was the culprit.
Police in Barnstead responded to a call about a smashed window at the town's elementary school yesterday afternoon. And when they got there, they were greeted by a very confused 10-point buck. He was blamed for the damage that you see in these photos, and the deer eventually ran off but left some evidence behind, as you can see. Barnstead PD released this sketch of the suspect on Facebook, and they say the break-in happened the same weekend that a deer snuck into an auto body shop in Goffstown. So they're joking that maybe both incidents are the result of organized crime.
We had many questions of how the deer got the mask on, because that just seems like a really tricky process right there.
Okay.
So is that in fact what the suspect looks like now after his antlers missing?
Yeah, that's exactly the mock-up.
Who sketched
sketch
this?
artist.
Who sketched this? And who?
That's hilarious. Like, the sketch artist didn't reflect that, like, clearly the evidence left behind at the scene of the crime. You can't include that as part of the thing. But anyway, let's see. And then it mentions the auto repair shop again. That is crazy. Here's a YouTube comment. The buck stops here. There you go. Nice pun. There you go. Well done. Well done.
Good job.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. We're coming up on the halfway point during this stream here. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in and dropping some notes for us to be able to work with here. If you have some other ideas for topics we should cover, don't forget to hit us up on Instagram at Weekend Showcase, and we might wind up adding your new suggestion into our feed next Sunday. Let's see. Next item is, here we go. Dream Tinder date became nightmare when he called me chubby and spoke of Satan. Ooh. Look.
Okay. What's it look like?
Question mark? What?
What's it look like?
Anyway. Oh, brother. Do this. All right, here we go. Dating is scary. Nowadays, there are all sorts of apps to contend with and tips and tricks to find a partner. Tinder is the place people usually turn to, but we know what Tinder is. The scary part is actually setting up a date. After a couple of days of exchanging messages, you're going to want to meet this Prince Charming, or at least that's what I thought. It was around March this year when, after a bad breakup, I decided to jump back onto the dating wagon. After a couple of weeks of just window shopping and being too scared to commit to any of the plans I was making with all these guys, I started talking with the man I thought was going to be the one. Conversation started like any other. We talked for hours and got to know each other, so we moved the conversation on to Snapchat. A couple days went by, we kept messaging each other and worked out that we have more things in common than we first thought, and so we set up a date. The original plan was to meet up by the pier, go watch the sunset, Sorry, I'm trying to get to the big thing. Here we go. We sat down on a bench and started talking. From the start, the conversation was weird. He started telling me about his Satanist flatmate from uni. I guess that's short for university. It was a very weird curveball, as it wasn't related to the original topic. Then all of a sudden, he started throwing all these insults at me about how I am an idiot and a bit too chubby for him.
Next. This one's too long drawn out. I don't know where it's going.
I mean, just basically, I guess a larger commentary can be made about the pratfalls of 21st century app dating. Be really, really careful about who you match with and who you risk your safety going to see in person, basically, as things might get exceedingly creepy.
It wasn't funny enough.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Next item. Alabama inmate who survived botched execution dies of cancer. This is from the New York Post. Read it or skip?
Skip.
Okay. 110 years later, a book has finally been returned to Boise Library. This is from CNN.
I'm ready to hear that one.
Okay. Let's take a closer look. Here we go. Okay, so the New Chronicles of Rebecca. Okay.
Chronicles.
Hmm?
Chronicles.
Yeah. Apparently there's more than one of those here.
Yeah, you said Chronicles of Rebecca or Crackicles? I couldn't hear you say.
Oh, Chronicles. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
About 110 years ago, a book was checked out from a Boise, Idaho library, and it has finally been returned. The New Chronicles of Rebecca was originally checked out in 1910 from Boise's Carnegie Public Library. According to the library's Facebook post, just this month, the novel was checked back into a library at nearby Garden City. Boise Public Library's interim communications manager told CNN, after library staff from the Boise suburb noticed a sticker on the book from the Boise Public Library, they sent it there. It was originally supposed to be returned to the Boise Library in 1911. This is the date due here. Wow. The most recent date stamp on there, June 1910. Can you make that out?
That'd be like over 100 years.
Yeah, no, 110 years. The book was in great condition, and images on the library's Facebook post. There you go. Yeah. It's my first time counting. On the library's Facebook post show the original paper
We
stamps.
lost a year. So we lost a year.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, 2020. Yeah. So here we go. All the pages are really well maintained, and the images are clear. It must have been kept tucked in a safe spot to help keep it from getting tarnished. And it was first published in 1907. So, Jason, do you remember what was the longest you ever kept a book out from the library? Do you remember?
I don't think I've ever actually rented a book. I rented a CD, but I never returned that. So,
seriously, you've never checked out a book from a library before in your life?
No.
Wow.
Just DVDs and CDs. Just DVDs and CDs.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for school purposes, even nothing.
Nope.
Wow.
Buy them.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I think the longest I kept one out was, I'm trying to remember, like maybe 2 months. I think like a month and a half, 2 months. I think. Like this is going back to like my teenage years for me. So this is like really trying to like dig deep in the memory banks for that. But
I think mine was. I never returned a Blueprint CD from Jay-Z.
Oh well, that's.
I kept
you
it.
Still
I
have
kept
it?
it.
Maybe it's time to return.
Oh no, I think I finally ended up losing it, and I just recorded it to my iTunes. So.
Oh. No.
I didn't do that. No.
Haha. The someone in the comments says, took me a long time to read it, as though he had it for 110 years. Sorry, I'm a slow reader. 110 years.
Sorry, I'm a slow reader, but my grandson finished it finally for me.
Yeah, there you go, and was able to return it in one piece in really good condition, like Facebook worthy condition, Facebook and CNN worthy condition. Here we go. Here's something. Man praised for cheeky letter of resignation written on toilet paper. Wow. Now, imagine having a job so crappy that the only way that you feel is appropriate to exit is to write your resignation letter on actual toilet paper.
It's cheeky.
There you go. I mean, this is from The Mirror, which is a British publication. So there you go. That's as I understand it, that's British lexicon language, British terminology in this context, right? Something being cheeky. Yeah. Let's see. The quitter named Lewis shared a photo of his unique letter, which had the simple message, "Yo, I'll be gone on the 25th. Next to the note, he included a hand-drawn sketch of a naked man slapping his backside to give the letter that personal touch. Lewis shared the picture of the letter to Reddit, and soon other social media users were in stitches over his unique way to leave a job. Yeah, I'm not going to go any lower than that on the image. Yo, I'll be gone on the 25th. Yep, there you go. I guess apparently that was all that was necessary there. Good grief. Jason, what's the most imaginative way that you always wanted to like quit a job?
I think I've done it. What did I do? Trying to make sure that
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I think I'll get sued for explaining that one. Let's
Okay.
see. I'll go. Yeah, there was one job where we were selling phones, and I took the phone, and obviously that was a phone that I don't use because I use a different brand, and I threw it on the ground, and I said I'm done, and I walked out, and then I went in my car and I blurred my music up and drove right past it in circles around the store, and then I left.
Wow, that's one way to, I guess, drop the mic on the way out. Like I'm trying to think. Like I basically
It was one of the showroom floor phones, so it probably wasn't worth much.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's actually a good follow-up question opportunity. Like what kind of was it an iPhone store? Was it like Apple phones or Android phones?
I wasn't gonna go to the brands, but because I don't want to get into that whole thing with you. But
Oh,
it was definitely a Samsung 8 Galaxy in 2017.
Let's pick that name up. Oh, there you go. Okay. We have a comment regarding the toilet paper here. Left cheek or right cheek? Was getting slapped in the drawing here, I guess, which we're not going to show. But anyway, couldn't tell you, but it was on there, I guess, is the implication here. So let's see. Let's move on from this and see what else we have coming down the pipe here. Next item. Let's see if we can get to. It's coming up on 8:10 right now. We have time for maybe a couple more before we go ahead and shut this down for the night.
5.
Load up. There we go. It kills me that this thing never resumes at the place that it left off at, but whatever. Here we go. This is again from the Mirror. Doctor says eating cow poo can help during childbirth, and he's even tried some. I don't think that's how you use fertilizer. But then again, I'm not a doctor, so we want to see this.
I'm good.
All right, moving on. Here we go. Cash scattered across a Southern California freeway sent drivers into a frenzy. This is from National Public Radio. Want to check this one out?
Okay.
All righty, here we go. Okay, this is this is from NPR. Traffic came to a stop on California's Interstate 5 Friday morning after an armored car happened to spill cash across the freeway just north of San Diego. Several drivers and passengers jumped out of their vehicles to grab what they could, but the police wanted it all back. The armored car was traveling north along the I-5 in Carlsbad at about 9:15 a.m. when one of the doors unexpectedly swung open and bags of cash flew out. Cars parked on the shoulder and in the middle of the road as motorists and passengers raced to collect the bills. Mostly ones and 20s littered across the ground, according to the San Diego Union Tribune. So, if this happened, Jason, what's your response? Like, would you turn the cash back or would you like keep it?
Keep
This
half.
is,
at
I guess, an
least.
ethics conundrum. Sorry,
Keep half of it at least.
keep half. So
Yeah.
you're gonna split the difference, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
What if it
Yeah.
was? What if it was all? Because the story said it's mostly ones and 20s. What if it was basically all singles? So where like it wasn't really like worth it to keep any of it. Like, would you still like keep half?
Have to.
Okay. Okay. I'm not even. I'll be honest. I'm not really sure what I would do. To be brutally honest, if I was in that situation, I mean, this is one of those things where like I'm trying to remember. There's an expression about how we always like to imagine that we would do the right thing in a given situation, but we never really know whether or not we would run into the burning building until we feel the heat on our faces. You know what I mean?
True.
It's one of those kinds of things. So, yeah. Let's see.
Grab what you can and get out.
Ooh, a couple people couldn't do it. 2 people were arrested at the scene for allegedly collecting what they could, and others turned in what they had collected. There you go. Videos across social media show plenty of people scooping up handfuls of cash along the freeway. Reporters were told that these videos captured faces and license plates during the event, and the CHP are working with the FBI to identify those who may not have turned the money in. Ooh, snap.
Yeah,
That's
but you can grab handfuls of whatever, and then just be like, oh, this is what I found, and keep a couple grand.
but like sticky fingers can only take you but so far. If they have your number, if they have your plates, they have your face, they know where you live. We have a comment.
But that's
here
what
on
I'm saying.
YouTube.
But that's what I'm saying. You turn in half of what you grabbed, and then it looks like you did the good deed, and you keep some for yourself.
But if they allocated all the money, if they have a way to keep track of how much money was missing, they'll find out, and like you'll be on that short list of people who they would hit up for the missing money, because it's going to turn out if they did that.
Everybody would be on that list, though. Everybody that was there did
everybody
that
who
would
they
be on
can,
that list.
yeah, everybody who was recorded. Yeah, you're right about that. We have
no
a
proof.
comment on YouTube. We have a comment on YouTube. Keep it with like 12 exclamation points.
Exactly.
Keep all the money. I mean,
finders keepers. There's not a lot you can do. You
well.
stole it off of the side of the road. Now, come on.
Yeah, it literally fell off the back of a truck. Usually that's just some sort of a defensive euphemism, to sort of distract from telling somebody like where they actually got something from. But if you can actually say that it fell off the back of a truck, like how often does that sort of thing happen in life? Like about anything, let alone cash. But anyway, hopefully everybody did the right thing there. Let's see. This is from Complex. Man dies 5 days after he was mistakenly declared dead and put in the morgue freezer. What? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, this is from Complex. An Indian man, I guess. I hope this is this is India. Okay. According to the Times of India, 40-year-old electrician Shrikesh Kumar was hospitalized last Thursday after he was struck by a motorcycle in Moradabad. Kumar was said to be in critical condition when he was first transferred to a nearby private health facility with internal head injuries. Doctors reportedly determined they could not improve his condition, so they referred him to a government hospital where he was pronounced dead shortly after. The Times reports Kumar's post-mortem examination would not take place until the following day, so hospital staffers wrapped him up and placed him in the morgue freezer until his kin could identify the body. His family arrived at the facility nearly 7 hours after he was placed in the freezer. It was at that time when his sister-in-law, Madhu Bala, noticed he was still moving. Wow. Doctors suspected it was a case of suspended animation. Wow. However, the miraculous discovery ultimately failed to save Kumar. He slipped into a coma and could not receive the necessary surgery. Kumar was declared dead days after he was placed on a ventilator. Holy crap. This sounds like the plot of a movie. This sounds like a movie plot, man.
Is that what you're reading? Is this on IMDb, or is this CNN?
No, this is news. This is from Complex. I guess they're pulling this from let me see. I'm trying to find the original source from this. Yeah, this is the Times of India. Let me see if I can I pull up the original source of this? This is first published November 24. Here's the original article. Yeah, so there you go. This actually happened in a video that has now been widely shared on social media and astounded. Yeah, there's the point where she's saying he's not at all dead. In fact, he's far from it. How did this happen? Wow. There you go. I can't. We've heard of cases where people wind up sort of being falsely declared dead. Like that sort of thing does happen. It's very, very rare, terrifying. But it's that can happen apparently. Here we go. This is a YouTube comment. Sounds like a lawsuit to me. Get myself a cheap lawyer. A few exclamation points. I mean, there was a couple lawsuits in there. Goodness, there's obviously the driver that started all this issue, and then there's the ME, the medical examiner, right? I mean, holy crap, that family is going to be loaded. But then this is in another country. We don't know how like the jurisdiction.
A little bit different. A little bit different.
Yeah. So goodness, this has happened right before the holiday season too. At this point of the year, I'm trying to remember what is what's the major holiday for the Indian culture. I don't recall offhand. I'm trying to remember, and I don't want to misquote because I don't remember if there's one that happens in December. it's slipping my mind right now. I wish that we had like a third person in here to help do like quick Googling research. So
Right.
apologies for that. But we'll move on here. Let's try and get one more topic in here, and I guess we can go ahead and shut this down. Let's see. Last topic of the night. Here we go. So, oh, well, here we go. Speaking of lawsuits, man who was mistakenly locked up in state psychiatric hospital for 2 years files federal suit. There again, sounds like a movie.
I mean, what under what context was he?
So, hang on, let me try and open this here. Here we are. This is from, what is this from? Hawaii News Now. Here we go.
Tonight, a man who spent years in the state mental hospital because of mistaken identity is now suing multiple government agencies.
There are more than a dozen allegations, including civil rights violations. Our chief investigative reporter, Lynn Kawano, has more.
The lawsuit calls the man's arrest outrageous. It got him locked up in OCCC and the state hospital for more than 2 years. Joshua Spriestersbach was 46 years old, homeless, when he was arrested in Chinatown for crimes committed by another man, Thomas Castleberry, a convicted drug user, car thief, and burglar. The lawsuit accuses the city, individual police officers, the state hospital, corrections officials, and workers at the public defender's office of civil rights violations, negligence, legal malpractice, false imprisonment, and more.
Was repeatedly told, look, I'm not Thomas Castleberry. I'm not on probation for a drug offense.
UH Law School instructor Ken Lawson works for the Hawaii Civil Rights Project, which filed the lawsuit on his behalf. Spriestersbach was arrested on May 11, 2017, after falling asleep on a Chinatown street. The arresting officer booked him on Thomas Castleberry's warrant. He was fingerprinted and his mugshot was taken, but no one seemed to notice he wasn't Castleberry. In September of 2017, Spriestersbach was committed to the custody of the Hawaii State Hospital, deemed delusional because of his insistence that he was not Castleberry. He was unnecessarily given powerful antipsychotic medication. In February 2018, state hospital employees escorted him out to get copies of his social security card and his Hawaii state ID. The documents showed he was Joshua Spriestersbach, and yet he remained locked up under the wrong name. It wasn't until January 2020, 2 years and 8 months after the arrest, that another doctor investigated and found he was telling the truth. Spriestersbach was quickly released.
They dropped him back off at the houseless shelter, gave him back his 50 cents, and acted like this never happened.
The lawsuit says the real Castleberry actually left Hawaii in 2009. He had felony arrests in Arizona and Alaska, where he is still incarcerated. Spriestersbach has never been jailed for a felony crime. His previous run-ins with police were homeless-related, sleeping in parks and on the sidewalk. Lawson thinks a 2011 arrest may have been why police linked the two. Spriestersbach was sleeping in a stairwell and gave the officer his grandfather's name, William Castleberry. He never gave the first name.
Let's stop this here. Holy crap! This whole story.
I guess my question is, what actually happened after the lawsuit? Is that just it's still going?
Hopefully they'll say what that is later in the print thing. We have a comment. We have a comment. He must have liked the food at the insane asylum for 2 years.
Well, that was like almost 3 years he was taken away.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. We have like no,
so basically they got him in California and then shipped him to Hawaii.
See, here we go. So Spriestersbach's attorneys claim police officers, deputy police defenders, doctors at the psychiatric hospital, and the State Department of Public Safety all violated his civil rights. Other allegations in the complaint include false imprisonment, medical malpractice, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. They point to a series of alleged missteps that not only allowed Spriestersbach to get wrongfully arrested, but then kept him confined despite evidence to support his mistaken identity claim. You know, this is Hawaii. Like, it's I'm guessing this guy doesn't have a background in the Marines or Special Forces, because the Navy. I mean,
was he picked up in Hawaii or California? Because I thought he said he was picked up in California. for sleeping in a bench or something.
Let me see. Homeless center. I guess it was in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says that he was homeless at the time and fell asleep on the sidewalk outside a homeless center in May 2017. It doesn't mention any other areas
Okay.
outside
I thought
of
you said
Honolulu
California.
at
I
that
guess
point.
I misunderstood.
Yeah. But no, I was gonna say, like, it's clear this guy doesn't have a background in like the Navy or Special Forces, because like, and this is Hawaii. Why do I get the feeling Vanessa Lachey's NCIS team would have been all over this from day one?
Right.
Like that would not have gotten this far. Yeah, that's not even close. But okay. There you go. So it wasn't until January 2020, 2 years and 8 months after the arrest, that another doctor investigated and found he was telling the truth. Speedster's Bach was quickly released. They dropped him off at the houseless shelter, gave him back his 50 cents, and acted like this never happened, says the group that filed the lawsuit. Oh my goodness. Hey. Wow. And there's the warrant. So
Like I have to wait and see find out what happened later on as the time goes on.
So, oh no. There's a comment. If you're going to be homeless, make it Hawaii. Oh no. No. And then another comment is like a series of cringy and curious face emojis that have no words to it, but it's like that's pretty much the right emotional sentiment from this, basically. Holy crap and shaking my head. SMH. Like all over the place, basically. Anyway, jeez. Where's the conclusion here? I'm trying to see where the Here we go. The HPD the Honolulu Police Department is currently reviewing department policies and procedures to determine if changes are needed. If changes are needed, we are also continuing to work with city attorneys to fully investigate and address the allegations in the lawsuit. Okay. The court records have still not been corrected despite his release, so he could be mistaken for Castleberry again.
Still.
Well, there's your... Wow. Come on, Hawaii. Oh, geez. All right. Well, anyway. Hopefully this doesn't wind up happening to that guy or anyone else again. So, I don't know.
What a mess. What a mess.
Yeah, what a mess. That's precisely correct. Anyway, okay. That's basically all the topics that we have for tonight. It's coming up on 8:30 in the East Coast right now. That's gonna wrap up this week's weird news stream. Jason, what's going on? What are you about to do the rest of the night? Probably, let me guess, Fortnite?
Open some Pokemon cards. You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So what was your favorite story from the night? Did you have one?
Probably the bear.
The bear raiding the fridge.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what would you do in that situation?
Curious. I'm just curious about the person who recorded the video and gave them frozen hot chocolate. Just who freezes hot chocolate?
You're still on that hot chocolate. Like
I am. Like hot chocolate is like maybe $1 or $2 per box. So what made you have to freeze it? Like versus just taking the powder, throwing it in a cup, and
Well, it doesn't say if it was like prepared hot chocolate. Like I don't think the person, or if it doesn't say if it was not prepared hot chocolate, if it was still in powdered form. I don't think anybody would freeze the powder.
I know. So there's only one option. You made the hot chocolate on the stove with the milk or water. You poured you poured the powder in. You mixed it up. You put it in a Tupperware or a bag or whatever, a Ziploc bag, and you put it in the freezer. For what reason? And that's what makes the bear story interesting.
I have one other thing I got to bring up here. There's a comment here. I guess this is in reference to the person who was discovered having survived being in the morgue. Shocking way for an electrician to die, which I guess is a pun there.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. Even I wasn't gonna go that far with it, but there you go. And that's saying something. Usually my puns are pretty cringe, I gotta say. But like, man, yeah. Hopefully all that stuff gets You know what? I don't have a closure for that. I don't have a closure for that other piece. I think we got to wrap this up here. But anyway, let's go ahead and turn this in. That's going to be the end of Weird News for the week ending Sunday, December 5, 2021, for this episode of Weekend Showcase. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us tonight. And Jason, good to see you again. Thanks for spending a little time with me tonight. Appreciate it. And have a
Merry
great
Christmas,
weekend.
everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy 2022, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we on the show will see you next weekend. Have a great